Yes, please.
Okay. Body. You wrote body for the pleasure and boost up the spirit by remembrance of God, peace. So body, this first key is called also way of principle, meaning what the body can do is not pleasure. We can also have for our spirit. What the important thing for the body is that it can accelerate our spiritual growth.
Yes.
That's the main purpose of the body, because in spiritual world, spiritual growth takes an eternal time. And
Yes.
body has this function of acceleration. So you can just write down in really short, body equals for the acceleration of the spiritual growth.
Yes.
Okay. Then mind, the second key is also called way of peace, I think. And the mind is there to getting to know the problem. Mind, as you can write in short, mind is for getting to know the external and the internal world. And internal world is the spiritual world.
Yes.
Yes. So what we use our mind for is for complicated matters. And of course, spiritual life has also many complicated matters. And that's what it's for. And the original purpose for the mind is to get to know the complicated matters that belong to God, so that we can understand God in a better way.
Yes.
And consciousness for the harmony with God, spiritual enlightenment and development. Harmony is something that comes much later. Consciousness, the third key is also called key way of the truth. So in this stage, your consciousness. So what we understand under consciousness is that we are aware of something. Yeah. Normally, in philosophical sense, you would say that we are aware of that we exist of our surroundings. So what consciousness means here is that we are aware that there's another world, a world that goes beyond our physical world, the world we live in here. And in this, so you could say consciousness equals becoming aware.
Yeah.
Of becoming aware of the spiritual reality.
I see.
But here I'm not so sure. I have to look it up, but time is running short.
Yeah.
So that's what I give you for right now.
Yeah.
And what is also important in this stage, consciousness.
Yeah.
With this key, then this is the part where we make our spiritual journeys. This is the part where angels come to us, and this is, and then where our body leaves, where our spirit leaves our body.
Yes.
And conscience. Wait. I think I got something wrong. Let me just. I have to look in Hazur's books.
Yeah.
Just one moment.
Sure.
One moment.
Thank you. No problem. I actually saw in Bitter Truth the 6 keys, and those are very. Yes. And I just wanted to make it shorter, and you are doing so fantastically shorter version to explain somebody if somebody is interested to know. Thank you so much, Brother Moses.
Thank you, brother. I thank you. Wait. Consciousness Yes, consciousness is the road of freedom. And this freedom comes when we also have our spiritual journeys. So you could say consciousness is getting aware that there is a world beyond of what we are normally aware of, our physical world.
Yeah.
And that we and this is also the part where we feel that we are not free because we cannot be in this other world, but we become free more and more through our spiritual journeys.
Yeah.
So, okay, now conscience, let me just look. Conscience. Just conscience. Let me just have to Freiheit. No. Consciousness is the road of peace, and then conscience is the road of freedom.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yes. I also had to look it up right now.
Yeah.
Our conscience, you can say conscience.
Yep.
Conscience is our tool that tells us what is right and wrong, not just in a moral sense, but also in a spiritual sense, and meaning that we know what we have to do from this point on to come closer to God.
Yeah.
And we know what brings us farther away from God. With this key, we find out naturally what we have to do in order to get closer to God.
Yeah.
Heart is the key where this is the key where we come from a horizontal level to a vertical level, because it's also called the road of love, or the road of love, or the life of love.
I see.
Wait, let me just read. So this is, you can also say, in the first four keys, body, mind, consciousness, and conscience, we have all individual ways.
Yeah.
But when we come to this fifth key, it's like when each and every one of us has a different way, different approach to God. But this is the way where we all come into one center. For example, every river is coming into the ocean at some point.
Yeah.
And this is what key of heart also means, that at this point we come all to the same point in the love of God. And this is where our vertical journey begins with God.
Yeah.
So heart is the tool that we are able to have a direct relationship with God. This is what you can write. Because you have to, if you can, just for your understanding, you can explain, just imagine this God, He is infinite in knowledge, infinite in wisdom, infinite in His abilities. We humans are mere bugs. And not just bugs, but we are like children to Him. We cannot comprehend on any of this. But how can, for example, children have a relationship with their parents? Through love. That's the connection that bounds them together. And this is also the connection that bounds us with God, although we cannot comprehend Him on any other level. But this helps us, and also God, that we can have a connection with Him. So the way of heart helps us to have a direct living relationship with God and a direct connection.
Yes.
And then the last key, let me just look it up. The last key, sorry, I just have to find it.
Spirit, right?
Yes, it's the Spirit, and we call this the way of harmony, or the life of harmony. And this is where harmony is important, and where harmony first comes. Because, and this is, for this we have to understand the fifth key, heart. When we love God, we are, this is also where many prophets, where they loved God, but each from their individual standpoint.
Yes.
And harmony helps us that we are not so fanatic, that our love, that the fire of our love is not like a explosion and then there's no fire anymore, but harmony helps us that we become more and more like God.
Yeah.
That our love settles, and that with time, this harmony helps us. You can write, harmony helps us. This Spirit equals getting to know God in harmony, and from this point, finding out more and more divine truths about Him. Or you can write, or getting to know our Creator more and more. You can write it like this, because then this means that you also get to know more and more divine truths.
I see.
Yes, so this is in very short what the 6 keys means. I hope that helps you. And people should ask more. People should ask you or Hazur or me, whatever, what does it mean when we speak about harmony? What does it mean when we speak about getting to know God? What does it mean spiritual growth, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
This is then people should ask you.
Okay. That is all right.
Okay, brother. And brother, I will also send you one video.
Yeah.
Where Hazur explained all keys.
There we go.
Yes, this is a very long video, but you can just write out the quintessence.
Number one. I'm so pleasure because I was looking as much I can to make it more shorter, and you have explained so well. I have recorded it. I'll upload on the YouTube as well and make my notes too. Thank you so much, Brother Moses. God bless you.
God bless you too, Brother Muhammad. I wish you a blessed day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.